So one of the things that's really been bothering me, while I've deduced that I am happy with the video diary concept and keeping track of what I'm thinking these days and how I'm trying to... So I've got a structure I'm developing. It's got 2 points so far that are important, really 3. How am I developing myself in a professional sense? How am I developing myself in terms of my political thinking, number 2? And number 3, what other kinds of self-improvement have I been engaged in? Those are 3 sort of categories that are helping me really move this video diary forward and bolster it and shape it with a sense of purpose. So speaking as another issue in terms of the professional front, I've been really troubled with the question as to how much video content versus how much written content and how to integrate them, especially considering I'm sort of a one-man team. This is an independent project. While I get advice from brilliant people, including my wife, my mom, my stepdad, my incredible friends at work, Bernard Foyeth and Mark Lewis and John Kashmir and Charles Haas, and one of my mentors, Dr. Leonard Winagora, professor of political science, philosophy, and history. So I'm getting a lot of advice on how I do things, but I do all of my own blog design. Not to say I literally design the site or anything. That is special thanks to the themes that WordPress makes available. But I mean, I choose which one and I organize it and all of that, and I conceptualize it. And I do all of the posting and the editing, and I do all of the videos and the video uploading, etc., etc. I'm not saying it makes me good or bad because I do that. I'm just saying, contextually speaking, I think it does make a difference whether or not you're running a team, a big team operation like, say, the Huffington Post or the New York Times or the Washington Post, or you're more of a sort of personal blogger type person. And so the question then becomes, how do I do this the right way? If I have established at the very least that I definitely know I want to communicate with people, is it more logical to communicate through writing? Is it more logical to communicate through video? Is there a way to integrate both? And I'm just not sure which. I do know, so to put this in a little bit more perspective in terms of how I'm trying to wrap my mind around this, I was told, I don't know the truth or falseness of this, but I was told that Einstein did not like to waste much time doing anything, not even thinking about what he wore, so that he would actually, I think, in his closet, keep much of the same outfit, because he didn't even want to waste time thinking about what it was that he was going to wear that day. So I'm thinking about the impact of time I spend doing X, Y, and Z, and how that impacts the quality of what other things I put my time into. So for example, if I'm going to spend a tremendous deal of time researching and synthesizing and analyzing and opining on politics and writing about it, how much time do I waste by converting that into some sort of video concept? And you also have to ask, though, who am I reaching and how am I reaching them if my ultimate goal is communication? And I mean, it turns out, according to a New York Times article and other things that I've been reading, something by The Economist, that really YouTube is continuing to take off even more so than it has, and as is video content more generally, which means that if you really cherish communication today, while writing in itself is not an activity to be put down, it's my favorite thing to do, in fact, if you're interested in really reaching a large group of people, it does probably hold that I know this is awkward, I need like a selfie stick or something. It really does most likely hold that finding a way to capture what you're doing on video, what you want to say, your message in some way, shape, or form, is going to be really beneficial to you. So I've been debating what is the proper mode for video content. I knew I wanted to at least do a video diary. That to me was important. The question remains though, what about the things that I'm actually writing? I mean, it would turn out that if I want people to actually stumble on that, and I want to make what I do searchable, with YouTube being essentially the number 2 site just below Google, it follows that you want to make yourself available on YouTube. So my theory as of now is to film myself reading my commentary, which I don't know how unappealing or appealing that may be. How much do we value looking at the face of the person who wants to say to us what they want to say to us is a valid question. But I was watching a vlog yesterday. I can't recall her name, but she does a sort of critical thinking and science kind of blog. But she writes and then she reads what she writes. I don't know, again, to what degree is a person ultimately going to stumble upon the video and say, I don't care, and not watch. I know that a lot of statistics say people don't necessarily like to watch videos that are too long. At the same time, people are actually spending more time on YouTube than anything else. And people aren't just watching short videos. You'll see vlogs go up to 20, even 30 minutes sometimes. I mean, there's a debate to be had, especially depending on who it is out there you want to reach. If you're trying to talk to superficial people, the people are going to look at you for about 5 seconds and then not care what you have to say. If you're trying to reach deeper people, then they may want to go deeper. I know aesthetically speaking, I actually find something romantic about looking into the face of who wants to say something to me. I mean, if I could have had Dostoevsky read his stories to me on camera, personally, I think I would enjoy that. I enjoyed watching Ayn Rand, during my Ayn Rand phase, read her essays. So, speaking for myself, I enjoy the opportunity, I think, to watch or read, depending on my mood. I enjoy listening to actually watching Rachel Maddow and Lawrence O'Donnell. Granted, they have a whole team of people who help make their monologues more visually appealing than I have the time and intelligence and people power to do. But I think there's no debating a few things. Number one, the visceral power of hearing and seeing someone and the moods and emotions and personality behind the words that they utter to you. I've been saying this for some time. I reiterate that. I believe that's effective. And I believe it's also, sorry about that, also, again, on a sort of search concept, search engine concept, or putting yourself out there concept. And not just in terms of marketing, but in terms of if you truly have something you're communicating that you really care about, then you do want to sort of maximize your reach. So from those 2 points alone, there's an argument to be had, certainly to be using video as much as possible. So my theory, and we'll see how long this holds, my theory is I'm going to keep up with the video diary. I don't really have a formula for how often I will be keeping the video diary. My goal is at least once a week. And it's going to be impromptu. It's just going to be me extemporaneously saying what I think, thinking out loud, really. And I will be filming myself reading my blogs in the future. and we'll see how that works, if it makes any difference. Anyway, you guys have thoughts on these kinds of things too. I want to know them, and I will talk to you later. Bye.